Hey, my loves, welcome back to Raveena at Home. And if you're new, I'm Raveena Singh, a certified professional organizer and home management consultant. Since the beginning of this year, I have restocked the pantry, laundry supplies, cleaning, and cooking aids. I have obviously been stocking it regularly, but I do my deep cleaning by rotation. Today is the refrigerator's turn. To be honest, I have been busy and my fridge has been neglected. So it's time to rectify that. First things first, I'm going to empty the fridge and the freezer. I would usually wash the dismantleable pieces under running water and dry them in the sun, but it's been raining every day. So I'm just going to have to make do with wiping it with a water and vinegar solution. I'm going to empty and wash all the containers, and then I'm going to go through all the food and then organize everything. A reminder here is to start with the meats and the seafood. It's important to get these back into the freezer ASAP. I like shelling the prawns, but I also leave the tail on. This prevents the prawns from shriveling up when they touch the heat. I also devein the prawns and wash them well. This is chicken breasts. We generally only buy white meat. You might say the thigh is more flavorful, but it's more about the protein than the flavor for us. I'm going to slice the smaller pieces and then keep the bigger ones as they are. I'm marinating the chicken slices with spring onions, ginger, Chinese wine, and soy sauce. This will be great for stir fries and Sichuan chicken. These I'm marinating with mixed spices and some whisked yogurt. I do not salt my prawns before cooking time, as this will draw out the moisture, leaving them watery. You all know how much the mini adults love their noodles and how important it is to me to keep at least the meals that they have at home healthy. I try to keep fish balls, crab cakes, and such so they can add omegas and good fats to their meal. For some reason, we have 4 packets of different types of sausages. In these, I'm storing French fries and frozen strawberries. All the frozen fruit is basically for breakfast smoothies. In these containers, I'm storing frozen vegetables. We have currently got petit pois, shredded coconut, and edamame beans. We also have baby carrots and some forgotten Brussels sprouts. Now these containers, I have had them in my fridge for a long time. In fact, if you go back and look at my fridge video 3 years ago, they were there. And I'm happy to say that they are still absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to wipe these down. And these are actually perfect for small amounts of ingredients that we either use very little of or that we rarely use. Now that I've gotten the meats and the frozens out of the way, let's move on to the veggies. When it comes to leafy greens, I do not pre-wash them. We wash these as we use so they last longer. So I just put a sticker that says wash before use so my mini adults are reminded. Now we have the staples that we cook with daily, and then we have those that we store uncut until needed. In our household, we cook using multiple ingredients in almost every dish. A little of this and a bit of that. It therefore makes sense to prep a little of this and a bit of that. Basically, it is quicker to have everything ready than to start chopping multiple veggies and then have to clean each time someone cooks. Some of the staples the mini adults cook with include chicken. They make stir fries, curry, pasta, salads for B, and noodles. I keep these ingredients prepped at all times to save my mini adults time. Coriander and spring onions, I also take the stems and roots and put those aside for sauces and homemade stock. I cut some and then I save some for later. We also buy plenty of tofu. It's an excellent source of vegetarian protein, along with tempeh, which we also always have on hand. These little things in the refrigerator just make it easier and faster to make healthy choices. Cucumbers are a must in this household. None of us particularly like zucchini. We use local and Japanese cucumbers for salads and for cooking. I know there is a small controversy on whether or not tomatoes should be kept in the fridge, but I keep mine here and I have never had any issue. Snow peas add a lovely crunch to stir fries and noodles. I keep these along with baby corn and dehydrated shiitake. Bean sprouts are best kept dry in an airtight container. I love cutting the carbs of eating noodles by replacing a portion of the noodles with bean sprouts. These not only are lower in carb, but they also add a crunch, which I love. This egg organizer here holds 24 eggs. I'm preferring this to the one I had used earlier. Okay, don't laugh, but I like to store my eggs by gradient, lightest to darkest. We buy a tray of 30 eggs, so when I fill this up, I have a balance of 6, and I hard-boil those and put them in the self-serve fridge. We also keep different types of chilies, bird's eye or chili padi, red chilies for sambal, and green chilies mostly for Punjabi food. This 3-compartment organizer keeps everything tidy and contained. These remain at the top for easy access. Below that are the meats and seafood. Some bits and pieces that we need to finish up are also here. And below that are the French fries and strawberries, and the silicone trays which I have shown you before. I love that these tall containers fit perfectly in the drawer. Cauliflower needs air circulation, so don't seal or knot the bag closed. Similarly for broccoli. These in front here are pre-packed salads. These organizers just help keep everything visible and contained. I use cloth bags to store beans of all sorts. Modern airflow technology allows the entire fridge to be evenly cold, but the bottom is still the coolest. I'm putting ingredients like cooking cream and stock, which sits in the fridge for longer periods of time, at the bottom. I'm also keeping other items that I try to extend the shelf life of, such as tomatoes. This space right here is for our leftover ingredients. The 3 mushrooms or half a can of corn, those things go in here. Now these on the door are mason jars, which I have replaced the lids of. And I like that these give me a clear view for use and also to refill. I realize now that I need to restock a few seasonings. I have some extra space here, so I'm keeping the soda here and the water in the other fridge, hoping that they will pick the water. Let's see. I'm so happy with how it's turned out. I can store more, ingredients are easy to reach, and it makes your grocery list so much easier to write. What more can we ask for? Here is one of the Raveena pro tips that I like to share. What comes from the shelf in the store goes into the fridge, and what you get out of the chiller goes into the freezer. That is how you lengthen the time you have to consume it. By keeping ingredients in the fridge or freezer, you can definitely slow down bacterial growth and keep them fresh and safe for longer. I hope this video has inspired you to tackle your refrigerator and freezer this week. And if you have any questions, leave me a comment below. And until the next video, this is Raveena saying, happy homemaking.